I help service providers and carriers with their billing challenges. So can you be more specific about their billing challenges? What do you help them track down people who won't pay? Do you help them create better invoices? Like what are the billing, like that's the thing when you talk about something general like billing challenges, that helps. So we have connect to the internet. Yeah, so that who do you help connect to the internet, right? And why are they connected to the internet? What is that? Why would they want to do that? Help business owners reduce their monthly telecommunication expenses. That's awesome. Telecommunication to me sounds more like something you say in the industry and less how your customers think about it. I help business owners reduce their monthly phone expenses. I help business owners reduce their monthly, internet charges. I would make that even more specific. Telecommunications sounds like a buzzword, and I don't really like having buzzwords in the thing. So there's so many of these I'm trying to catch up. Help businesses virtualize. So that's very concise. I'm not sure though what you mean by virtualize. Do you help them with Zoom? Do you help them work from home? I don't know that businesses are running around saying, man, like if I could just virtualize everything, it'd be okay. So and again, we want to kind of use their words. So I'm not sure what virtualize is. I help businesses communicate about what to whom, right? Do you help with the top level senior management team? Do you help them with maintaining customer, keeping customers? I'd like to see a little more specifics there about what you're doing, because again, help businesses communicate. Everyone does that. Like we all help businesses communicate. It doesn't really differentiate you, but I help executive teams communicate with their leadership team, or I help if there's something more specific, that's good. I help systems manage their traffic, their internet traffic. Again, the more specific we can be, and traffic almost sounds like it could be like physical traffic. I realize you're in telecommunications here, so everyone probably understands this traffic. But again, from a point of view, not be overwhelmed by their traffic. Like where is the traffic coming from? I'd like to see more specifics. Help organizations use technology to enable growth and efficiency. So again, what sort of technology? Like if you're struggling with this as to how to make it more specific, think about a recent client success. Think about someone that you just helped, and that's a good one. I helped an organization, implement a CRM, and now their sales are doing better. I helped. It's not something like that. That helps people understand who they're looking for, because using technology to enable growth is again, it's very. I help companies bridge the gap between online and offline activities. I like that one. I'd be interested to hear how that one goes. And all of these, I really recommend trying them. Right? You can think about the elevator pitch for a long time, but what you want to do is get to the point where the proof is really in how it works, right? So what's good to do is take the thing today, go out and use it for a month, see how people respond. And then you can try changing it. You try a different one for another month, and you'll pretty quickly know which one is working better. And that's the model I like to use. But until you've used it for about a month, you don't really have a sense yet of how it works for you. Sorry, I lost my place. Let me get back to where we were. Activities. So I help IT people avoid security problems. I like that one, actually. That's good. I'd be interested to hear how that works. Again, go out and try that. If you're using it already, let me know how it works, but that's good. I help business owners deal with network and communication issues. So again, I'd like to be more specific about what the issues are. Do you help them deal with network downtime or network lag? Or, I also don't like having an and in there, that if you say and, you start to kind of lose people. So I like to try to not say and, just pick one, right? And next month you can use the other one and see how that goes. But that's, I like to use one at a time. And again, people are like, oh, but it actually makes it better. Like when you try this out, you'll see that it actually makes it better. I help small business owners update their IT infrastructure. Yeah, I like that one. I help businesses connect with their customers. Again, that's so vague. Like all of us business folks, I help people do that. Like everyone's helping people do that. That doesn't really differentiate you. So connect with their customers with direct mail pieces, over the telephone, with texting. Like, I offer texting. I help business owners, get text messages to their customers. That might be something. So again, depending on what you're doing, I'd just like to see that be more specific. Again, I help companies find their ideal technology solutions to what? And again, you say, well, it can be anything. I understand that. Again, I'm not suggesting that you do fewer things. I'm just suggesting when you talk about it, I help companies, I help, I help companies implement a CRM that helps their sales team. I help companies, implement an internet infrastructure that handles at home, all this virtual, all these Zoom calls, right? That's the kind of thing. Help people connect. Again, you'd want to, what kind of people and what sort of connection? Are you helping, mothers connect with their adult daughters? Are you helping, business owners connect with prospects? Are you helping sales teams connect with other sales teams? I'd like to see, again, helping people connect is something we all kind of do. So I'd like to see that be a little more specific. Help clergy and church lay members create better retirement outcomes. I love that one. That is a great one. Good work. If you're not already using that, I'd like to hear how that goes, because I think that is good. Again, you can work with I'm sure you work with non-church people, but setting it up to be church people, again, if you can find that niche, if you become known as the person for the clergy to come to, you'll get other work too, but that helps people know who to bring to you. I help businesses solve communication problems. Again, so very general, like communication. Are they communicating with their customers? Are they communicating with their prospects? Are they communicating internally? Are they communicating with their leadership team? Is it the executive communicating? Like there's so many different communication things you could be doing. You really want to narrow that down. Same thing, I help companies solve their IT challenges. Pick a challenge. I help companies, install Windows 10 over all their Windows 7 here. I help companies, increase their internet speed without paying more. I help companies get a phone system that they don't, that's half as much as what they're using now, like those sorts of things. Because businesses aren't thinking they need to solve communication problems. Right? If you're talking to a CEO, you're like, I'm here to solve a communication problem. It's like, I don't really have any communication problems. But you say something, or I don't really have any IT challenges. You say, but okay, so how often is your system down, or those sorts of things. So thank you for asking. Help businesses increase employee productivity while reducing their OPEX regarding the internet and VoIP services. So I'd like to, that sounds really good. You're reducing, I don't know what OPEX, I don't know what OPEX is. You might want to put that in lay terms. Again, you might be talking to people who understand the jargon, but it's better not to have the jargon. So I help businesses increase employee productivity while reducing their internet bandwidth, or reducing their cost for internet, or something like that. I show business owners how to grow their profits. Again, what sort of business owners? How do they grow their profits, right? Are you helping them sign up more customers? Are you helping them get more money out of customers? Are you helping them, what more specifically are you doing? We help small businesses connect the internet to their equipment. I actually don't mind that one. That sounds a little bit vague, but that actually does. I'll be interested to hear how that one works. Help businesses protect their company data. So I help businesses protect their company data and guide them to use technology to make more money. I just cut the second half of that out. I help businesses protect their company data. I think that gets you in. And the cool thing about this is, once you're in, once you're helping them protect their data, then you can start having the conversations about the upsells, right? Then you can start having the conversations about where you want to go from here. So that's the thing. I think I help businesses protect their company data is perfect. And if you can talk about the business, I help manufacturing businesses. I help solo professionals. If you have a particular kind of business, that could actually help that too. Let's see, got time for a few more here. I help provide farmers with valuable information to make decisions to improve profitability in their farming operations. Again, so I help provide farmers with better weather information. I help provide them with better seeds. I help provide them with better just tell me what. That's a lot of words to not really say much. So I'd like to understand what you're helping the farmers with. Is it to get more yield from their crop? Is it to more easily bring their stuff to market? Like what are you helping them with? I help my customers avoid and defend against hacking and other cyber. I would drop the and other cyber risks. Again, I don't like and. I help my customers avoid and defend against hacking. That sounds great. That sounds great. I help businesses manage and improve their networking equipment for voice and data. Again, I'd probably drop the voice and data, and I'd want to know why do they need to improve their networking equipment? What is going on with that? So we provide a cloud application to service providers that enables them to produce invoices to their clients. Yeah, so I would use the kind of company, I help a telecommunications companies create invoices faster. That's because the fact that it's a cloud application, none of that really matters. You're looking for the people that you help. So you're looking for service providers, which again is a little bit like is it telephone companies? Is it internet, endpoints? Like what is it? But they're producing invoices. So I like the service providers and producing invoices, but I feel like there's a little bit cleaning up. Help businesses work from home. Yeah, that's very topical. That sounds good for now, for today. Help businesses upgrade their IT equipment. Help businesses manage and improve communications platforms. So again, the communication platform, that's a very vague sort of thing. And employees and customers, you're kind of doing everything. I'd pick one. I help businesses, implement communication platforms for their customers, something like that. And again, I know the platform helps with everything, but when you're talking about it, when you're marketing it, you want to just talk about one thing. We designed systems to connect trucks and tractors to the internet. Oh, I love that. That's a good one. Yeah, cool. It sounds like cool work you're doing. I help technology experts optimize their networks. Again, so what's the value for that? What's the business value for optimizing their networks? What are they optimizing, and why do they need to optimize it? Help companies move their voice infrastructure to the cloud. So I like this. I'm wondering what voice infrastructure is. It move their telephone stuff, we move their voicemail systems to the cloud. Like what voice infrastructure? Again, I'm not sure people are sitting around thinking about their voice infrastructure. I know you think about it that way, but I'm not sure they think about it that way. I help businesses move from paper documents to electronic documents. Excellent, very clear, very concise. I thought CapEx and OpEx were well-known acronyms, capital expenditures and operational expenditures. Thank you. So yes, this was acronyms. You think they're well-known and everyone you talk to knows them, but when you're talking in an elevator pitch, it's better not to have anything that can kind of confuse people. So that's the thing. I mean, expenses, I would almost call this expenses. If you want to say OpEx, you could just almost talk about expenses. All right, great. So good. Okay, so that was a lot of feedback in a very short time. Great work, everyone, coming up with these. We have a couple of minutes left. So if people have any other questions or anything else that came up, I'd be happy to answer those. And I can go through a couple of questions. I just got a question. All right, so it's a question. I sell several services, and again, if you have questions while I'm talking, just go ahead and throw them into the chat box, and we'll do it. So I sell several services. How can I best combine them all into one elevator pitch? And again, I would not. You don't want to put everything into your elevator pitch. Multiple services, multiple products. You want to pick one. And this is the toughest thing to do in networking. It's absolutely the toughest thing to do is to pick one. It was tough for me. I'm an elevator pitch coach. And for a long time, I was a leadership trainer. I was a lot of different things. But when I became the elevator pitch coach, I actually got more opportunities across all my coaching for delegating and for presentation skills and all that kind of stuff. And so when you become specific, it actually opens up more opportunities. So that is true. So the name of the book is called The Elevator Pitch Handbook, the step-by-step guide to starting conversations. And if you go to andrewwinnig.cloudconventions.com, you can get there. They have that there. So it's online. It's on Amazon. What are your top 2 conversation starters? It's asking for someone who's horrible at being social. It's me. I'm horrible at it. Excellent. So my top conversation starter, if you're at a networking event, and you're looking for someone, what I do is I approach people who are standing alone. That's the first thing I look for, because if people are talking in groups of 2 or something, it's hard to get into them. The question I found that is great is, so do you come to a lot of these kinds of events? And I've actually asked that to the organizer. Like I've walked up to the organizer and said, hey, do you come to a lot of these kinds of events? And they're like, well, yeah, I come to this event every month because I run it. But then there's someone I can talk to about other people that you can talk to. That actually, it's a great way of starting a conversation, and it gets you without, it's an easy question for them to answer, and it really gets you a good idea of them. So that's a great conversation starter. So another conversation starter is, how did you get started doing whatever you're doing? So someone tells you they're a mortgage broker, or someone tells you they, telecommunications expert. You say, oh, wait, so what got you into telecommunications? So I think that's another. So those two, like, do you come to a lot of these kinds of events, and how did you get started doing the kind of work that you're doing? That can be a really good way of getting people started talking about things. It looks like we got time for one more question. Um, well, I'll do two. You recommend being specific, but I'm concerned that I'll miss out on opportunities. And what I encourage you to do is to try it. Right? Everyone feels we've been taught since elementary school that generalizing makes you smart, and it's true. Like that helps us a lot as a species to be able to generalize things. It does not help you in marketing. When you're marketing, you want to be very specific because that's what starts the conversations. And it's very counterintuitive. It doesn't seem to work. And again, I struggled with it in my business. But I'm telling you, just go ahead and try it. Go ahead and try it and see what happens. And you can connect with me on the Cloud Conventions website. If you have questions or anything, feel free to go up there. Okay, so last question. I do a lot of networking. Sometimes it's awkward. How can I unawkwardly exit a conversation or keep the conversation going? So I'll answer this in two parts. The first is those two questions I just asked are great questions to try to keep. If you want to try to keep the conversation going, that's fine. Those are good. And again, the awkwardness comes from nobody knowing what to say. So if you could come up with something to say, then it won't be awkward. Like if you just have a couple of questions in your back pocket, that's great. The other thing I'll remind you is that when you're networking, it will sometimes be awkward. Like some people are just awkward, and that doesn't reflect on you. It sometimes reflects more on them. And sometimes it will just become awkward. And the best thing to do if it becomes awkward too many times, like, you try to start conversations a couple of times, just reach out your hand, shake again. Once we get back to in-person networking, reach out your hand, shake their hand, say it was nice to meet them, and you're going to go continue networking, right? There's nothing more to it than that. You just reach out, shake their hand, and thank them. All right, everyone. I think that's our time for today. It's been great working with you. Thanks for coming. Have a great convention. And if you get a chance, if you just put into the chat box kind of the most surprising or interesting thing you learned today, that's always helpful for me to see. So if you just let me know what you got out of today's session quickly in the chat box, I'd appreciate that. And I will turn it back over to our host. Thank you.
Thank you, Andy. While everyone's filling out their final answers in the chat window, I would like to point out once again that the session is going to be recorded, and the recording will be made available on Cloud Conventions within the next couple of days or so. So you can go to Andy Winig's virtual booth, check out the recording as well as the other content that he has up and available. We also have ways for you to get in touch with Andy. So if you'd like to engage with him, outside of the site, please feel free to do so. Also, just an FYI, the site will be open until the end of 2020. So please feel free to come back at any point in time. Bring your friends, engage with the content, engage with the speakers and the exhibitors. We highly encourage that. Okay, Andy, it looks like, do we have all the chat submissions that we need here?
I'm going to give another couple of seconds, see if
okay.
Yeah, a couple more coming in. All right, that looks good. Thank you, everyone. Appreciate you being here, and have a great convention.
Have a great one.